Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check the description or visit CCG Castle for more. Hello and welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video we're going to look at the deck for the Primal class shown format, and this is basically my Greninja Break build. So a lot of you are probably familiar with the Greninja Break. It's a very expensive card at this moment, so Greninja Break rolling like a $20 to $30 range for a single one, which is very expensive for just a single break card. And it's also the most expensive break card we actually have. So why? 170 HP, that's the first reason. The second reason, John Water Shuriken. You can discard energy from your hand once during your turn and you can put 6 damage counters to one of your opponent Pokemon in play. Wow, very amazing. If you know, we are going to lose Water Shuriken Greninja from X and Y, so we cannot put additionally 3 damage counters. But I actually managed to find a good solution to use triple Giant Water Shuriken in a single turn. So how to do that? Let's say you have Greninja Break in your active spot, and you can use Giant Water Shuriken. Then, since Greninja have free retreat, you can actually retreat to your another Greninja Break for free and use Giant Water Shuriken again. Put 6 damage counters to one of your opponent's Pokemon in play. Then you can actually play Escape Rope and force your opponent also to move his active Pokemon to one of his benched Pokemons, and you can retreat your Greninja from the active spot to your bench. It's better than Switch, trust me, because Escape Rope, it can help you in a lot of situations. And then you can use a third Greninja Break Water Shuriken, but you need to have 3 different Greninja Breaks on bench, because you can only use once during your turn one Giant Water Shuriken. So, for example, if you use one Giant Water Shuriken and use Switch and then just retreat, you will not going to be able to use the same Greninja Break Giant Water Shuriken at this turn. This is very good in my opinion, because sometimes you can also force your opponent to retreat his active Pokemon with one of the Pokemons you actually would like to see, and he don't have another option. For example, your opponent have Trubbish on the bench, or maybe Garbodor with some damage counters from Giant Water Shurikens earlier until he was not a Garbodor with the tool, and you can actually force him to, for example, promote that damaged Pokemon, and you can actually knock him out with later Moonlight Slash or Shadow Snitching. So in theory, you can do 3 Giant Water Shurikens for 180. You can even hit with the Moonlight Slash for 80 more, which is 260. And you can also put 6 damage counters to your opponent with the Bursting Balloon. So I guess it's definitely a very strong deck, especially with the Bursting Balloon, because with the Primal Clash on, we are going to lose Starling Megaphone and 0-6, so your opponent will be forced to take damage counters from that Bursting Balloon, or just to pass the turn. But passing the turn against Greninja Break can just be, I should definitely say, devastating for you. So 17 Pokemons, as you can see, pretty much standard 4-4-4-3 line of Greninja Break, and I'm also running just a single Remoraid Auxiliary as draw support. From item cards, I decided to run 4 Dive Balls, so I can search my deck for any water Pokemon, and 2 Level Balls, so I can grab anything from like Froakie, Frogadier, Remoraid, and Octillery. I don't have Fisherman in this deck, so I decided to roll with 2 Energy Retrievals. In my opinion, Energy Retrieval is better because, for example, if you want to play Lysander, you can Lysander your opponent benched Pokemon and grab 2 energies with your Energy Retrieval from your discard pile into your hand. You can use Giant Water Shuriken, retreat another Giant Water Shuriken, and then just finish with the Moonlight Slash. So I guess having Energy Retrieval in this deck is actually a way better, just in my opinion, than a single Fisherman. I mean, Fisherman can be used multiple times with the V-Seeker, but then again, you need to waste your turn to play supporter card. 2 copies of Escape Rope. I actually mentioned it earlier why Escape Rope is good. In my opinion, it's very good. You can actually retreat for free with it, and you can also force your opponent to retreat his active Pokemon. So in my opinion, Escape Rope is a very good card. So I also mentioned earlier 2 Level Balls. Having also single Professor's Letter can help you a lot, because with Professor's Letter you can search your deck for 2 energies, put them into your hand. 2 copies of Super Road. You need to have at least 1 copy of Super Road, but trust me, 2 copies is just a sweet spot for this build. because you can shuffle back 3 basic Pokemons from your discard pile back into your deck, but you can also shuffle energy cards. But since we have those energy retrievals, I guess we don't want to do that. We just want to shuffle back those Frogadiers and Greninjas until we actually manage to get those Greninja breaks in play. Only 3 Trainer's Mails. I didn't find a space for the 4th one. So you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal a trainer card you find there, put it into your hand with a Trainer's Mail, of course. 4 VA Seekers, no doubt about that. You need to have 4 of them. 1 Ace Trainer. 1 Ace Trainer is definitely good. It can give you a multiple putting down your opponent down to like 3 cards, and you're going down to 6 cards if he actually knock you out on turn 1, because I'm only running 2 Wallies, and getting Wally turn 1 might not be that possible, especially with 3 Trainer's Mails, and pretty much you might be missing turn 1 Frogadier, but also maybe turn 2 Greninja. I also don't have rare candies in this build, so it's a little bit slower build, but Ace Trainer can help you a lot. I mean, it can definitely, if you have more prize cards left than your opponent, it can definitely put your opponent in the bad position by putting him down to 3 cards. So Ace Trainer definitely for the turn 1. So also many people might not be playing 4 VA Seekers, but I just want to have as many VA Seekers as I can for that Lysander, just because having VA Seeker for Lysander and N is just crucial, because in my opinion it's better to have VA Seeker in deck than like 4 Ns. That's just my personal opinion, but who knows. Also having 1 Lysander, 2 Ends, because you can put down your opponent to like a low amount of the cards. 3 Professor Sycamores. From Stadium, also 2 Wallies. From Stadium cards, I decide to run 2 Rhapsies, 4 Bursting Balloon, of course, and 8 Water Energies. So if you actually don't want to play VA Seekers, or if you actually want to have more Wallies and maybe more Ends, you can also try to, for example, let's say cut down 1 Sycamore, maybe add 2 more Ends, and just put your VA Seeker amount down to 3. For example, it will depend on your game style and how you would like to play, because VA Seeker for me is very important, just because of that Lysander, but also because of that N. But for example, many times you don't want to play N because you might go down to low resources, or you just want to play Sycamore because you want to find more energy cards and more resources like energy retrieval, or maybe Super Road, or maybe Escape Rope, and playing N might not help you if you don't have Octillery. So that's the reason why I actually play 4 VA Seekers and 3 Sycamores instead of 4 Ns. Definitely for the turn 1, it's actually better, in my opinion, to have more supporter cards than just actually 4 VA Seekers, because you can actually get pretty bad opening hand by just like 6 drop supporters and 5 of them just playable. But it's just up to you. You can definitely try to test a lot and see how that will work for you. So yeah, let's do some gameplay so you can actually see how this deck will work into action. So see you in the game. Alright guys, I'm very excited to show you this Greninja break for the Primal Clash on. So I just want the coin flip, and I will start first. This is very important with the Greninja deck. So this opening hand, it's definitely devastating. I should definitely say that. So you need to be prepared on bad draws. I mean, Greninja break can definitely give you pretty much either way a very good or very bad hand. So there is Trainer's Mail for Wally, so I guess I can use that Wally at least, and I can actually play it to find my Octillery. The good thing is that I actually have Octillery in my deck, and I cannot play supporter card for this turn, so I guess I will just attach energy just because I want to actually reduce the size of the cards in my hand. And for the next turn I can go with the Lysander for that maybe Aegislash on the bench, and maybe in theory even draw one card with a Beazle hand, but depend on the top deck. So this is a promo Jirachi with pretty decent first attack. You can draw 3 cards and then you can sleep your Jirachi. So for 1 energy you can draw 3 extra cards, so it's pretty decent card. I guess a budget card for non-shaming builds. So there is shaming also. Speaking about shaming, I have 3 cards for my opponent. All I really need is actually any kind of a dive ball, so I can actually go with my VS Seeker for maybe Froakie, dive ball into Frogadier, and if I can find Escape Rope, I can actually just use my Water Duplicate. So there's a Hex Maniac, which is very good and very strong card against Greninja. So if your opponent is actually able to get Hex Maniac pretty much each single turn, you don't have too many chances against it, so definitely there's a Hex Maniac, so this is very strong move. And Ultra Ball. He also played that Mega Mewtwo in this deck, so let's see what he's going to grab. Mewtwo EX, alright. So knowing that he cannot draw cards right now, I can actually use the advantage right now and maybe tries to Lysander his Aegislash on the bench. So since I cannot do pretty much anything else, what I'm going to do is just attach 1 more energy onto my Octillery and pass the turn. So for the next turn I can even retreat my Octillery. It will depend what I can top deck, so let's see what my opponent have in his hand as the last card. So there's a Bronzor, he can start to use those Metal Links. So 1 Metal Links definitely to Mewtwo goes. And will he have Sycamore? Yes, so he can drop 7 new cards, very nice. 1 more Aegislash. Spirit Link for that Mewtwo, so he can evolve into Mega Mewtwo. There's also Lugia and Level Ball for another Bronzor. Actually for Bronzor, not a Bronzong, so he can use 2 Metal Links per turn. 3 cards in his hands. Let's see if he can move that Aegislash from the active spot, so there's 1 more Metal Energy on the Mewtwo, and it's my turn. So finally I managed to top deck a supporter card, but actually this supporter card will help also my opponent to set up a little bit more with 6 new cards, so at least I managed to find Froakie. So I'm going to pull my Level Ball right here for 1 more Froakie. I really need to have 2 of these in play. I will actually try to paralyze my opponent Aegislash, so he don't have chance to actually retreat with a Float Stone if he managed to find one. So let's see first a Beazle hand, not bad. Maybe Trainer's Mail can give me another Dive Ball, so I'm definitely going to use it on the next turn for Frogadier. Or maybe I can even use it right now, I'm not sure. I will wait actually, so since I cannot evolve, I will just try to use my Bubble. And actually managed to paralyze his Aegislash, which is definitely very good. So for the next turn, I'm going to play my Super Road before I actually decide to go with my Sycamore for 7. But who knows, maybe I can even... Yeah, definitely Super Road. I need Water Duplicate for more Greninjas on bench, so I can start to knock out my opponent, shaming on the bench. Also those Bronzongs. I need to knock out those Bronzongs because they're actually energy acceleration for his deck. They're the main engine for those energies. I also need to find those bursting balloons. So there's a Float Stone, so he can actually attach the Float Stone onto his Aegislash and retreat on the next turn. But at least I managed to save my turn by not losing my Froakie. This is very important. And my opponent also played at Sycamore. That means that he goes down to 14 cards. And he still needs to get a lot of prizes, like 6 prizes, and this is definitely not going to be very easy. So there is Trainer's Mail for Ultra Ball, so I will assume that he will find that Mega Mewtwo right now with Psychic Infinity in play for that regular Mewtwo evolve, so he can have 3 energies attached to it. Okay, this is definitely very good setup. So I can't play my Rough Seas because my opponent will probably just remove Shaman from play. So I don't want to do that. So he's down to 12 cards, and there is one more double color synergy. So, oh, there's a switch. So he had that switch in his hand, and that switch was actually a big deal right here. So, very nice move, I should definitely say that. And Psychic Infinity for 190. So, a lot of damage. Alright, so I guess it's time to use first Water Duplicate. The good thing is that he has only 2 cards in his hand, so he might not be able. So I have 2 more Frogadiers left in my deck. I need Energy card. I don't have energy to use my Water Duplicate for now, so I'm going to play my Dive Ball for 1 more Froakie, put it down to the bench. Then I'm going with my Super Road. And actually, after that, I will play my Abyssal hand, so maybe I can draw Rough Seas, but I don't want to play Rough Seas actually right here. Going to give N to my opponent so he can actually draw some more cards. Maybe he can also run out of the cards in his deck. And there is very important Bursting Balloon. So, very nice. And also the last card was the Water Energy. So I can use my Water Duplicate, put down 2 Frogadiers onto my bench. So for the next turn, in theory, I might be able to find a V-Seeker for Wally, so I might be even able to knock out my opponent Mewtwo in the active spot. So if you decide to attack me, he will take 6 damage counters back, so I can put Giant Water Shuriken for 6 and do 80 more, so no, I would be for 10 short. Oh my goodness. So I also need to find 1 more Bursting Balloon. So there's Metal Links. Of course, he cannot use his damage swap. This is the good thing. Because he don't have Final Memories, of course, and Psychic Energies in play. 1 energy goes to the Aegislash. And there is Battle Compressor, so he can discard more energy, so he can actually put more energies to his banished Pokemons in play. So definitely this Mega Mewtwo is going to fall down if he decides to attack me right now, because that Bursting Balloon will definitely do the great job right here. So he's also down to 7 cards. 1 V-Seeker for Hex Maniac can do a great job for him. I should definitely say that. So let's see what he can do. 1 more Metal Energy to that Aegislash. Alright, so that means that he had 2 energies, and Psychic Infinity goes for 190. I'm losing my Frogadier, he's taking 6 damage counters back, so it's time to promote another Frogadier into the active spot. Oh, there is a V-Seeker as a top deck, so this is definitely a very good move. So I'm going to put 2 energies into my hand. After that, I'm going to play my Super Road, so I can put back my Froakie and Frogadier into my deck. And I will also go with my Wally right here, so I can evolve into my Greninja Break. Very nice. So I can use 1 of my Giant Water Shurikens, put 6 damage counters onto his Mega Mewtwo. Of course, I can attach 1 energy, and I can go with my Abyssal hand. Okay, so no sign of the Yeah, I will use actually right here just the Shadow Snitching. Maybe not. I need to think about that. Let's just go with the Moonlight Slash for 80. So I was short for that Bursting Balloon. If I got that Bursting Balloon, I would be just able to attach it onto my Greninja break, and in case that he actually decided to attack me, he would just lose his Mega Mewtwo. So I didn't find a Bursting Balloon. So I'm going to lose probably my Greninja break because he can hit for 190 right here. Actually, for now 160. So he's still short for 1 energy. No, 170. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, 160. So he still needs 1 energy to be able to one-hit knock on my Greninja break. So this is a very frustrating moment for my opponent. And he actually decided to attach double Chorus energy onto his Lugia on the bench and hit for 160 with this Psychic Infinity. So that means that he definitely will gonna lose this Mega Mewtwo right now. So first I will use my John Water Shuriken to knock out his Mewtwo from play. So that will also bring me 2 prizes. And this is Professor's Letter and a Level Ball. None of these 2 cards are actually usable at this moment. So let's see what he is going to promote. I'm thinking about playing maybe even a Water Duplicate right here. To be honest, I will actually pick another Frogadier, so I don't have Greninja for now. So I'm thinking like playing first Rapsies. I will try to get rid of some of the cards from my hand. So let's see. Then I will retreat and force my opponent actually to remove his Aegislash, but he can actually just put another Aegislash into the active spot. So I'm going to retreat onto my another Frogadier. Then I'm going to force him to put something else into the active spot. I just want to get a Abyssal Hand for 1 card. It's very important because I might be able to find another Greninja actually right here. Again, I will put my Greninja because I have free retreat. Then I'm going to play my Professor's Letter, but I don't need to take anything back into my hand. The moment of truth. I'm taking a big risk, attaching 1 energy to my Frogadier and playing my Abyssal Hand for 2. And there is actually Professor Sycamore, but I already played both of my Super Roads right there, so I guess I cannot retreat anymore. So I will just pass. Actually, for the next turn I can play Ace Trainer, so I can Ace Trainer my opponent down to 3 cards. It didn't get like I was hoping to be. I was hoping actually to be able to retreat onto my Frogadier on the bench with maybe another Escape Rope and with energy on it, so I can actually go into my Greninja and preserve my Greninja break for the next turn, but that didn't happen, so I will suffer the knockout right now. So that means that my opponent goes down to 3 prizes, and there's V-Seeker for that Hex Maniac, so he can actually even use Hex Maniac and shut down all of my abilities. That means that I cannot use my Octillery actually for a Abyssal Hand, which is very bad, I guess. So I will just promote my Frogadier. So there is a Level Ball. I guess I can actually just grab my Froakie to thin a little bit more of my deck. And it's time to play my Ace Trainer, so hopefully I'll be able to find Greninja. So yes, there are 2 Greninjas and also Bursting Balloon, which is very good. So I can use very nice turn of play right here. So I think that actually hitting for Shadow Snitching right there would be the best option. Just because I can lock my opponent a Pokemon's ability in play, so he cannot actually use his Metalings as long actually Shadow Snitching is effective for this turn. So basically he cannot accelerate energies from his discard pile to his benched Pokemons, which is very good. And also if he decides to attack me, he will take 6 damage counters back onto his Aegislash. So that means that I can actually just pretty much knock him out on the next turn. So he actually decided to retreat. Very smart. And there is Professor Sycamore, so he's probably going to deck out himself. So yeah, actually he was not able to win in this matchup. It's definitely very frustrating. You need to take six prizes against your opponent who actually have 90x deck, so it's definitely not that easy. So let's move to the game number 2. Alright, so I'm going to call heads again, and I'm starting first, so hopefully my opening hand is going to be very good. It's pretty decent. 2 Froakies and 2 Bursting Balloons, but no sign of any draw support or anything else. The good thing is that my opponent actually don't have basic Pokemon, so that will give me opportunity to draw 1 extra card for that mulligan, and also 1 for the setup, so 2 more cards. Yeah, definitely much more chance to get something. So Water Energy, oh my goodness. This is definitely very bad. So what I can do, pretty much pass the turn, attach that Bursting Balloon and pass the turn, so that Zygarde can one-hit knock out my Frogadier. Hopefully I'm going to top deck something, because this is just ridiculous. I got like 2 energy retrievals, 2 water energies, 1 leather, and 2 bursting balloons. I mean, bursting balloon definitely good. It would be much better if there was like at least 1 more die ball, so I can actually search my deck for a Frogadier and use water duplicates. But who knows what the top deck going to be. Everything except Sycamore is good. I mean, if I got Sycamore, I'm forced to discard 2 of my energy retrievals, 2 energies, and Professor's Letter, so I don't have chance to bring back actually my energies into my hand. So, oh, and top deck. I really like that. So I'm definitely going to attach the Bursting Balloon and play energy attachment onto my Froakie, and I'm going with my Ant. So hopefully there's going to be a level ball. So yes, it is. I'm not going to attach my Rough Seas, because if I attach Rough Seas, my opponent can actually knock me out, so I just want to counter his Stadium. I only have 1 Frogadier in my deck. How really bad is that? So let me just see. That Land Pulse can hit for 20, 40 only. Well, it's the same, I guess. So I would just use my Water Duplicate, put that to my 1 Frogadier onto bench. 2 Frogadiers are actually prized, so nothing that bad. I should definitely say that. If he decides to attack me right here, he's going to take 6 damage counters back. So that's very important, because if he misses Fighting Fury Belt, I can actually just knock him out. So there's Korrina, so that means that he can actually use Starling Megaphone to scrap my Bursting Balloon. Okay, so definitely you will not see Bursting Balloon in the future. Another Bursting Balloon, a Starling Megaphone in the Primal Clash on, because it's just out of the rotation, so no more Starling Megaphones or 0-6, so your opponent will be forced to take 6 damage counters back or just pass the turn. But in this situation, this Cell Storm is definitely going to do a great job right here, because he can heal damage off from his a Zygarde and actually knock out my Frogadier. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to promote my Frogadier into the active spot. Okay, so this hurts a lot. I guess I will just play my Professor's Letter for 1 energy, actually for 2, because I can play energy retrieval and put 2 into my hand. So I need to find a way to knock out my opponent's Zygarde right here somehow. But to be honest, I don't know how to do that. So there's Greninja, which is good. And there is also Super Road. So that means that I can put back my Frogadier into my deck. I guess I can search my deck for it. I mean, I can for a treat, that's for sure. I can buy some time right there. Or I can just hit for the Moonlight Slash and hope that he don't have a strong energy in his hand, because if he have strong energy, he can just knock out my Greninja. So I can take a big risk right there and actually retreat onto my Froakie and gave him a chance to actually knock out my Froakie and heal the damage off from his Zygarde totally. Then I can maybe just, I don't know. I definitely did another Greninja in play, that's for sure. But getting something like Greninja Break would be much better, so hopefully I'll be able to find Greninja Break. Maybe I shouldn't go with that Dive Ball for another Frogadier. Maybe I should just stick with Dive Ball for maybe Octillery so I can get that Abyssal hand. But then again, I don't know. I mean, there's even right now Trubbish, so getting Greninja Break in play would be just crucial because I need to get knockout against that Trubbish on the bench. But also that Bursting Balloon that he managed to scrap with that Starling Megaphone was just a breakthrough, because with that he was actually able to survive by not being knocked out from my Greninja. So there is one more strong energy, as I mentioned earlier, so he can hit for 140. So he just decided to use that Cell Storm. He had that N in his hand, I know that, but he didn't decide to play it. And I would just promote my Greninja right now into the active spot. A very nice top deck. So I actually managed to top deck my Greninja Break, and right here I will actually force my opponent. I can actually use my John Water Shuriken. And right here I can actually force my opponent to... I will also play my Shadow Snitching. I can also force my opponent to play that N, so I can get 6 new cards, hopefully. So yeah, there is a N, so very nice play. I actually force him to play that N so I can get a fresh hand of 6 new cards. He cannot one-hit knockout so far my Greninja Break. I mean, he can do that if he can somehow retreat, but he actually missed that retreat, so there is Greninja for me. And this looks way much better, so I can use my energy retrieval for 2 of my energies. Then I can use my John Water Shuriken, put 6 damage counters on that Zygarde on the bench because he's the biggest threat right there. Then I can search my deck for Octillery, put it down onto the Remoraid. I can even force my opponent with Escape Rope to promote his Trubbish, so I can actually knock out his Trubbish, promote my Greninja, put that Bursting Balloon on it, and right now you see why Escape Rope is so important and why I actually forced to play that Escape Rope, because in this situation that Escape Rope will help me as a hell. So as you can see, I can attach 1 energy, I can go with my Bursting Balloon, and I can even go with my Abyssal Hand for 3 extra cards, which is just amazing. And yeah, I mean, I can even search my deck for 1 more Froakie, but I will actually pick a Froakie. It really doesn't matter. I can go with the Froakie because if he decides to attack me with his Zygarde, he will actually survive. But I'm going to use my Moonlight Slash for 80 damage right there, so I'm going to knock out his Trubbish, so no Garbodor for him. That's the good thing. He cannot play his Garbodor, so there is a Froakie. And yeah, right now, if he decides to attack with his Lance Rat, he can hit for 140, but he's forced to take 6 damage counters back if he don't have that Starling Megaphone again to use it to scrap my Bursting Balloon. But I guess this is pretty much very, very bad situation for my opponent. So there is Professor Sycamore. If he had that Lysander in his hand, he might be able to knock out my Greninja Break on the bench and actually escalate that Bursting Balloon 6 damage counters on it, because he managed to get that power memory, so he can hit for 200 by discarding all 3 energies attached to the Zygarde. That would be definitely a badass play for him, but he actually misses that. And there's Echo Arm, so let's see what he can put back into his deck from tool cards. Pretty much not too many. Floatstone and a Muscle Band. Okay, so I'm definitely in very, very good position right there. I definitely need to find just a Super Road or maybe a Frogadier so I can actually get my Greninjas in play. So there is a Ultra Ball, so he discarded that Focus Sash and Fighting Stadium for another round of the Zygarde. So he might just knock out my Greninja right there and prepare his another Zygarde on the bench. Alright, so there is one more strong energy, and he knocked me out for 240. Okay. I should say fair enough. So I'm going to put my Froakie right there. I have V-Seeker in my hand, so can I use my V-Seeker for Lysander maybe? Definitely I can, but first I need to use my John Water Shuriken to knock out his Zygarde into the active spot, so I can take 2 prizes, hopefully 2 Frogadiers. At least 1 would be good, so there is 1. And energy, I really like that, so probably I will see Zygarde in the active spot. So what I can do is I can actually play N right there, because I have that Abyssal hand. Oh, so he actually decided just to quit. I mean, I would go with my N because I have Abyssal hand, so I can drop some extra cards and I can end my opponent down to 3, so Abyssal hand definitely good. But yeah, pretty much he was not able to do one-hit knockout, so I guess it's pretty much GG for him. So yeah, definitely very powerful build, I should definitely say that. As you can see, even if you start pretty bad, you can definitely get back into play with Greninja. I should also say that Escape Rope helped a lot in that second game, because forcing my opponent actually to promote his Trubbish in the active spot and being able to hit for 80 with the Moonlight Slash and knock out that Trubbish was just definitely devastating for your opponent, because with that he was not just able to promote that Garbodor in play, shut down my John Water Shurikens, and from that point he was not able to do pretty much anything else after he lost his Zygarde with 3 energies. So once again, guys, I hope you enjoy watching it. That was my Greninja break deck with yeah, pretty much triple John Water Shuriken in theory for the 1 turn, and also damage return with the Bursting Balloon. So what else you need to play Greninja Break in the future standard format? This is definitely, I think, one of the best builds that you can actually build and play with it. So once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.